So good morning everybody, Jai Hind and welcome to the daily current affairs and MCQ series. Let's begin with the first article that we are talking today. 17 instances of chemical weapons used in Syria. That is the statement that has come from the watchdog, that is OPCW, that is the organization for the prohibition of chemical weapons. What the head of the organization for prohibition of chemical weapons has said that it is a disturbing reality that 8 years after Syria joined the Chemical Weapons Convention, which bans the production and use of such weapons, many questions remain about its initial declaration of its weapons stockpile and precursors and its continuing program. So let's take a look at the details. So OPCW has said that is the Organization for Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. It has told the United Nations Security Councils about these developments, that the experts investigated 77 allegations against Syria, and it included that in the 17 cases chemical weapons were likely or definitely used. That is, it is a near given that these weapons were used by Syria. Right, in April 2020, OPCW investigators blamed 3 chemical attacks in 2017 on the Syrian government. Right. Also, the OPCW's Executive Council, they responded by demanding that Syria provide all the details of all these things. Right. And when they did not provide the details, then France had submitted a draft measure. फ्रांस ने एक ड्राफ्ट मेजर सबमिट किया था ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ द 46 कंट्रीज टू सस्पेंड सीरियाज राइट्स एंड प्रिविलेजेस इन द ग्लोबल वॉचडॉग, दैट इज द ओपीसीडब्ल्यू. ठीक है. एंड इन एन अनप्रेसिडेंटेड वोट ऑन April 21, the watchdog, that is the OPCW, suspended Syria's rights until all outstanding issues are resolved. Remember, Syria was also accused in the years of 2013-14. Damascus was particularly accused by the West of using these chemical weapons which are prohibited. You know, this is one of the worst kind of weapons which one can use, you know, one human being can use against another. It's one of the worst forms you can say that humanity can witness. Right. So let's see what comes from that. UNSC has been told about these things. Let's take a question. Which of the following statements is or are correct with regards to Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons and its role in Syria? The first statement, that is OPCW UN Joint Mission in Syria was formally established in 2010 to oversee the timely elimination of the Syrian chemical weapons program. Then second, OPCW has 193 member states and oversees the global endeavor to permanently and verifiably eliminate chemical weapons. Then third, in 2014, the Syrian government declared that the destruction of its chemical weapons was completed. Hanji, quickly type your answers in the comment box. Everybody, make sure that you type the answers in the comment box. Yes. Okay, so let's discuss the first statement which says OPCW or United Nations का जो ये joint mission है, that was not in 2010 and hence this statement is incorrect. First statement इसलिए जो है it will be incorrect. Which was the year that UN and joint mission was set up by OPCW? It was not in 2010 but rather it was in 2013. ठीक है. And hence first statement is not correct. Then second, if first is not correct, then you can outrightly eliminate what? Correct statements. First is incorrect, this is gone and this is gone. Right. 3 hours is present in both the options, so it boils down to the second statement. OPCW has 193 member states, yes, and oversees the global endeavor to permanently and also importantly verifiably eliminate the chemical weapons. Right. So this is correct, that the verification also is being required or is also required to be done by OPCW. ठीक है. It is not just that it requires or it aims to eliminate these chemical weapons, but it verifiably does so. So your answer is automatically B, that is 2 and 3. Both these statements are correct. ठीक है, I believe that is clear, right? You can take a read in the PDF also, and I think that is sufficient to make things clear for all of us, right? So what does it say? That OPCW UN joint mission was set up in 2013 to oversee the timely elimination of Syrian chemical weapons in the most safe, most secure manner possible. ठीक है, ह्यूमैनिटी को देखो इससे बहुत नुकसान होता है. एक तो है आप पहले ही जो है यू आर यूजिंग वेपन्स एंड देन ऑन टॉप ऑफ इट दे आर केमिकल वेपन्स, राइट? चलिए, so moving forward to the next article that talks about a boost being given to the Make in India program, the defense sector, that is 6 homegrown submarines cleared in massive Make in India boost. Let's take a look at what exactly is being talked in this article. तो जो Defense Acquisition Council है, which is headed by your Raksha Mantri, has cleared a Make in India project worth 43,000 crore to build 6 conventional submarines. ठीक है, submarines का role जो है certainly for any navy they are quintessential in today's era, right? So the DAC headed by your Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has cleared this, and the DAC has approved a request for proposal. ठीक है, एक RFP जो है उसको अप्रूव कर दिया गया है for the project to run under the strategic partnership mode. ठीक है, and under this strategic partnership mode, this is the first such military hardware acquisition project, right? So that is important for you to take note of. Then the approval for the project will help India achieve the targets in its 30-year submarine construction program. देखो डिफेंस सेक्टर में particularly I am of a very strong view that, you know, as far as you can achieve indigenization, that is going to really help you strategically also, economically also, and in the long term also, right? So this is important for us as a country to move ahead on. Then the first sub, or the first submarine, not the subway sub, ठीक है, the first submarine under this project is not expected to enter service for at least another 7 years. देखो ये लाइन जो है ना, ये दर्शाती है कि कितना ज़रूरी है कि आप जितना जल्द से जल्द हो सके, the sooner the better, that you start developing or you start making indigenization with respect to all the production that can happen in the defense sector. ठीक है, I agree that it will take certain time. We have come far ahead from the times of independence, but still, you know, it's a long road to be walked upon, right? So 7 साल जो है मिनिमम लगेंगे फर्स्ट सबमरीन को एंटर करने में सर्विस, but still nonetheless the process has begun and the ball has been set rolling. चलिए, so let's take a question on that. Yes, what does the first statement say? Which of the following statements are correct about the Defense Acquisition Council? It is the highest decision-making body in the Defense Ministry for deciding on new policies and capital acquisitions only for the Army, Navy and Air Force. Then second, it was formed after the group of ministers' recommendations on reforming the national security system in 2001. Yes, I'll take a halt here. You guys please make sure that you all type your answers in the comment box. हाँ जी, I'm taking a halt for some seconds. Please, all of you, type your answers in the comment box. Okay, so let's discuss. I believe we are having some answers. So it is the highest decision-making body in the Defense Ministry for deciding on new policies and capital acquisitions. But the but is not for just the Army, Navy and Air Force, but also for what? The Indian Coast Guard. Indian Coast Guard जो है, that also is included here. ठीक है? So first is not correct. Then second, it was formed, that the DAC was formed after the GOM or the group of ministers recommended so in 2001. Yes, remember the 1999 Kargil war? After that Kargil war, this GOM basically gave this recommendation and for reforming the national security apparatus, this Defense Acquisition Council was put in place. So the second statement is correct, and the correct statement hence becomes only 2, that is option B. ठीक है, सेकंड जो है सिर्फ वही सही है, पहली इसलिए गलत है क्योंकि आर्मी, नेवी और एयरफोर्स के अलावा इट इज ऑल्सो द इंडियन कोस्ट गार्ड विच हैज टू बी इंक्लूडेड, राइट. चलिए, देन मूविंग टू द नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल, दैट इज द डेल्टा वेरिएंट ऑफ कंसर्न. इसमें हमने पहले भी बात की थी, सब लीनिएजेस में से 2 लीनिएजेस को डाउनग्रेड किया था और सिर्फ एक ही लीनिएज को एज अ वेरिएंट ऑफ कंसर्न इन द डेल्टा variant of the coronavirus was kept. So now this new study which has been published in the Lancet says that for Delta variant, Pfizer gives 5 times fewer antibodies, right? So let's take a look at what is the relation with antibodies now being developed. So people who have been fully vaccinated with Pfizer BioNTech vaccine, the study says that they are likely to have more than 5 times lower levels of neutralizing antibodies against the Delta variant first identified in India compared to the original strain. That means जो original strain था और mutation के बाद जो नया strain है, ठीक है, नए strain के against जो है it is going to produce less than lower levels of neutralizing antibodies, which means the effectivity has been reduced for this vaccine. So this was revealed in a research published in the Lancet journal, and it also shows that levels of these antibodies that are able to recognize and fight the virus are lower with increasing age. That means that people who are of the elderly population, right, they are having this antibodies and the recognize and the fighting ability is lower in them, right. Then the levels decline over time, providing additional evidence in support of plans to deliver a booster dose to vulnerable people. इसका मतलब ये है that अगर Pfizer वाली वैक्सीन जो है जिस रिगार्डिंग ये स्टडी बात करती है, if that vaccine is being administered, then we will have to give a booster dose also to vulnerable people so as to effectively protect them against the mutated variants of COVID, of coronavirus, right? Delta variant being the case here. Then data from previous clinical studies suggests that higher antibody titers or concentration, that is higher antibody concentration, is a good predictor of vaccine efficacy and greater protection against the COVID-19 disease. ठीक है, तो Pfizer particularly when, as and when, you know, if it comes to India, then earlier also we had talked about some rare medical conditions that were flagged by the Health Ministry of Israel. This is the another, you can say, development on that particular vaccine itself, right? चलिए, और साथ ही साथ डेल्टा VOC भी इसमें है जो इंडिया में पहले स्पॉट हुआ था, so it is important for us to be aware of it. So which of the following statements, coming to the question, which of the following statements is or are correct about neutralizing antibody? हाँ जी, the first statement says their production is triggered by both infections and vaccinations against infections. Not all antibodies that bind a pathogenic particle are neutralizing. And last, it can stop a pathogen from infecting the body by affecting how the molecules on the pathogen's surface can enter cells in the body. Yes, please quickly type your answers in the comment box. I'm taking a halt here. Make sure you all type the answers in the comment box. That is the least I think I can ask you for. हाँ जी, so neutralizing antibody के बारे में जो ये statements हैं. Okay, so let's discuss the first statement, that their production, that is the production of the neutralizing antibodies, is triggered both by the infection and the vaccination that we are taking. So first is correct. Then not all antibodies that bind a pathogenic particle are neutralizing. There are certain other antibodies also, right? So that is why this statement is correct. And last, that an NAB or a neutralizing antibody, it can stop a pathogen from infecting the body by affecting how the molecules on the pathogen surface, मतलब कि वायरस के surface पे, ठीक है, they can enter the cells in the body. That is correct, because see, it basically, the spikes which are there on the surface of the virus, they bind with the body, right, with the cells in the human body, and through that it enters inside those cells, right? So third statement is catering to that, which is also correct. Hence your answer becomes all the three statements 1, 2, 3 are correct. ठीक है, चलिए. So you can take a read here also about the neutralizing antibodies, and not all antibodies that bind a pathogen particle are neutralizing. ठीक है, non neutralizing antibodies is the other kind. Fine. Okay, so moving to the next article. So in Nasik's Buddhist caves complex, a chance new find, that is, these caves they are already in existence. You must have read about them in your ancient, medieval and culture module, but now this is a new find. So let's discuss what exactly is the case. So the Archaeological Survey of India, ASI, has found 3 caves in a hill in Nasik, ठीक है, जहाँ पे पहले भी बुद्धिस्ट केव्स जो हैं वो लोकेटेड हैं, ठीक है. The antiquity of the caves is yet to be established, and archaeologists studying them believe they could be older than the Trirashmi caves, ठीक है, in the same area. सेम एरिया है जो नासिक के हिल्स की बात कर रहे हैं, जहां पे पहले से ये त्रिरश्मि केव्स जो हैं दे एग्जिस्ट देयर, बट नाउ द न्यू वंस, द 3 न्यू केव्स which have been discovered now, their existence is believed to be, although it is not confirmed yet, but it is believed that they could well be older than these Trirashmi caves, right? The Trirashmi or the Pandav Leni caves are a group of 25 caves that were carved out of Trirashmi hill between the 2nd century BC and 6th century AD. That is the historical fact for you with respect to these caves. And these caves are on the opposite side of the current complex of, and 70 to 80 feet above the existing complex. ठीक है, I'll suggest that do Google the images and you'll get a better clarity for that. Then the caves have been carved out of a steep hill, and by the style of the carving it looks like these were monks dwellings. ठीक है, कि ये जो बुद्धिस्ट monks हैं उनकी dwellings हुआ करती थी, older than the current complex. That is what is the fact with respect to these new caves, right? So do make a point that you revisit your AMC notes and revise all these things with respect to Buddhism and the Buddhist architectures. Chaliye, so taking a question on that, which of the following statements is or are not correct regarding the Buddhist caves in Nasik? The Trirashmi Buddhist caves complex was first documented in 1823 by Captain James Delamine. Then second, the site also depicts an excellent system of water management. And third, no carved idols of Buddha are present inside these caves. Yes. हाँ जी, सभी लोग प्लीज आंसर्स टाइप कर दीजिए कमेंट बॉक्स में एंड लेट मी नो. आई विल सर्टेनली व्यू दैट हु ऑल पीपल आर मार्किंग देयर आंसर्स. It's always a delight to have as many answers as possible. Okay. So I believe कि आप लोगों ने अभी तक आंसर्स जो हैं, you have typed your answers in the comment box. चलिए, so discussing the first statement which talks about, that is, the Trirashmi Buddhist cave complex was first documented in 1823, that is in the times of the British, by Captain James Delamine. Yes, that is correct. That is a fact which you should know with respect to these caves. Then this site also depicts an excellent system of water management. Exactly. उस टाइम के जो नेचुरल तरीके से, जिस तरीके से they used to manage the waters, that is beautifully done in this particular area. you know, and we in these modern times are finding it hard to conserve water, but these people did so in a very natural and very, you know, sophisticated manner. Then the last, that no carved idols for Buddha are present in these caves, that is not correct. The Buddha idol carvings, they were spotted in these caves, and that is why the third statement is incorrect. So your answer is not correct, is only third statement. Hence, for question 4, the answer is A. ठीक है? Let's quickly take a look at the explanation as well. So the idols of Buddha were also carved inside these caves, representing the influence of Mahayana Buddhism. ठीक है, देखो इनको basically they initially were thought to be representing the Hinayan Buddhist caves, but later it is found that they also have relations to the Mahayana sect of Buddhism. ठीक है, and that is why these carved, which is showcased by the presence of these carved idols of Buddha which are found inside the caves. ठीक है, चलिए, I believe that is clear. Yes, moving to the map based question. Yep, to the map based question. The Great Green Wall project includes which of the following countries? हाँ जी, कौन कौन सी कंट्रीज हैं इनमें which are a part of the Great Green Wall project? Sudan, Eritrea, Republic of Djibouti, Brazil and Argentina. Yes, one option I have given you a hint for. I have not included one in them. That is a hint. Chalo, let's discuss. देखो, the Great Green Wall project, that basically relates to Africa, and that is why I had also given a hint by not including Argentina in either of the statements, in either of the codes for answers, which means that these two countries which are not African nations, they are the odd ones here. ये जो project है, it relates to the African Union countries, to the continent of Africa. ठीक है? So Sudan is a part of it, Eritrea and the Republic of Djibouti are a part of it. Hence your answer becomes C, that is 1, 2 and 3. ठीक है? Those of you who were smart enough to spot that 5 is missing, so you could have pondered or thought why 5 is missing, because that is a hint, because these two are not African countries. ठीक है, तो कभी कभी read between the lines. This is what I'm trying to convey. Brazil and Argentina are the odd ones out, which are not African nations, and all the others are African nations. That is a commonality between them. ठीक है, and all three, since this Great Green Wall project, it caters to combat the desertification phenomena which is underway in the African region. उसी के लिए ये project जो है undertake किया गया है, and Sudan, Eritrea, Republic of Djibouti, all being African nations, are part of it, right? So answer is straight away 1, 2 and 3, Sudan, Eritrea and Republic of Djibouti. Yes, let's take a look at the map. ये देखो जो explanation है that through the African Union, more than 20 African countries are involved in the Great Green Wall, which is the project that aims to address the issue or challenge of desertification, land degradation and climate change in the Sahel region of Africa. ठीक है? That is why I was telling you that non-African countries cannot be a part of it. So see, this basically is a depiction of the Great Green Wall, and Djibouti, Eritrea, Sudan, then Ethiopia, Chad, Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Mali, Senegal, all these are part of the initiative that you call the Great Green Wall Initiative. ठीक है, तो इसलिए देखो यहाँ एक तो एम था आपको ये इनिशिएटिव जो है रिवाइज करवाना, एंड ऑल्सो that at some times when there are certain options, you have to try to relate between the options as well, right? It is not going to be the case in UPSC prelims that you are going to be aware of each and every fact, but from the statements which are there and even from the options which are present, you have to do reverse engineering also at times. That is there a common link between that? I'm not saying it is going to work all the times, but at least you can try that one specific way also of cracking the question. Fine. So that is the Great Green Wall initiative of trees, and with that we conclude today's session, right? I believe everything would be clear to all of you. If at all there's anything where you found it troublesome or there's some doubt, please pen it down. We'll cater to that in the next live session, right? Until then, have a safe weekend, study well, be safe, and also enjoy the weekend, because certainly with study that also the rejuvenation is also required, right? So that is all from my side. It's a wrap. This is Piyush signing off. Thank you so much. Bye bye.